Hi everybody, Craig here. Welcome to episode 6 of my 6-player free-for-all Age of Wonders 3 playthrough series. In this series, I'm playing against 5 Emperor AI that are each on their own separate team, and I'm playing as the Orc Warlord, Crognash the Brutal. In our last episode, we actually acquired a Theocrat hero, and our Theocrat hero is now leading a stack in the Shadow Realm. We've got some work to do here, as obviously we've got a stack of some elemental units here, a Tigran Mystic, Orc Grunt, and then we've also sent this Lesser Blight Elemental who does have a bronze medal. This Blight Elemental is coming to join the stack here, and we've encountered this Draconian city which is currently at war with us, so we're about to probably take the city over, and then we'll have to decide what we're doing with it. And in the surface world here, if we just jump back, you can see that we've done a little bit more exploring up north here. We actually took over this watchtower so we can kind of see what's going on north of our city here of Toldran. And we've got Crognash over here still partnered up with Dominus, and they're leading a very powerful stack here, you can see. And we're kind of progressing west and north sort of at the same time, or excuse me, east and north, I should say, kind of at the same time here. So we've got a lot to do this episode, but before I dive in, I did want to give a couple of quick shout outs to a few individuals who left some excellent comments on the last episode. The first of those is a set of comments from Can Dennis, and Can points out that in particular with my new Theocrat hero, we'll just jump over to him now. So our Theocrat is True Gruck the Humble, and if we look at him, when he levels up again, we can grab Touch of Fate. Actually, you know what? We could do it right now. We'll talk about this briefly based on Can's comment here. So Can pointed out that Touch of Faith is a skill that is very useful for Theocrats, and there's a couple of reasons for that. So the first of which is that it's easy experience at the beginning of a battle. You can apply Touch of Faith to any of your units, assuming, of course, they aren't undead, and you'll basically get a flat XP boost there to your hero, which is awesome. But in addition to that, Touch of Faith bestows extra resistance, +3 resistance, and 400 extra morale on a target-friendly unit. And this would be ideal because my Orc units have lower, intrinsically lower resistance. So this would be a great way to kind of offset that. So we're actually going to grab that. So now we have that ability with our Theocrat hero, which is fantastic. And a big thank you to Can for that excellent suggestion there. The next comment comes from Samuel Gomes. And Samuel points out that if we jump back over to, we'll just find Crognash again. Here we go. If we look at Dominus, so Dominus is kind of our quirky hero, Dominus the Vampire King. Just to remind everybody, he has Control Undead and Dominate, which is why I took him. But he's also undead and can't heal himself. The only way he can heal is with Lifesteal. Now, Samuel pointed out something that I thought was a really kind of interesting and ingenious thought here, and that was that if I was so inclined, I could actually make an item with my Arcane Item Forge that I completed in the last episode, and that's in the city of Toldran. We'll just jump over here. So Toldran now has the Arcane Item Forge, and we're actually in the process of producing Nourishing Breakfast here, which is going to give Nourishing Meal to whichever hero I give that to. But Samuel pointed out that what I could do is I could give Dominus a sword or a melee weapon that I could create that has Lifesteal on it. And Lifesteal stacks. So the more things that provide Lifesteal, it stacks. So what that would do is it would give Dominus greater Lifesteal, which would improve his ability to gain his health back. I may not actually do it, as I'm going to have my Nourishing Meal item going to Dominus, but I think that's just a really ingenious idea and something I would have never considered. So a big thank you to Samuel for that excellent kind of outside-the-box thinking suggestion. And then the final set of comments I want to mention is from Casper Eklund. And Casper pointed out, at the end of the last episode here, I had set Dominus and Crognash here next to this Heart of the Blight. And you can see here that this Heart of the Blight is guarded by a Shadow Stalker, a Blight Elemental, and then a number of Goblin units, as well as a Blight Tusk Boar. And pretty much all of these units are either immune outright or highly resistant to Blight damage. So in the case of our Shadow Stalker, it is entirely immune to Blight. And if we look back at our stack here, you can see that we do have some shock damage coming from the Mature Shock Serpent, but we have blight damage coming from this lesser blight elemental, and then the rest of our heroes are pretty much just doing physical damage here, along with our Orc Shock Trooper doing physical and our Black Knight doing physical. So Casper pointed out that it's probably not worth doing this battle. It's a pretty high-risk battle, and it could potentially be very disastrous for me. And in addition, I'm not going to be getting this Heart of the Blight in my domain anytime soon. Even if I produce a builder and send him up here, it'll be a while until I would be able to get advantage of that. So it's probably not worth doing. And I actually agree with Casper. I think he's absolutely correct there. The other thing that Casper pointed out, he agreed with my rationale for picking the Theocrat hero, and we'll just jump back over and take a peek at him one more time. So just to remind everybody, our Theocrat hero looks like a fairly standard Orc Theocrat, nothing too crazy. The only caveat to that is that he is actually devout and dedicated to good. And I had kind of mentioned in the last episode that obviously I have Shadowborne, Adept, and Master, so I'm going to end up with an evil alignment, meaning that True Gruck is going to have a morale penalty because he's dedicated to good. But I wanted to find out, since I'm going to eventually be researching, we'll just jump to it. I think it's Embrace Darkness is the spell. Here it is. So if we research Embrace Darkness, we're going to get the added effect here that all of our heroes and our leader become dedicated to evil. So I want to know, and this is kind of my, doing it for science, I want to know if True Gruck, since he has dedicated to good inherently, will that override it, or will he have both, and kind of like, will it balance out, or kind of what's going to happen? And Casper wanted to know that as well. He said, you got to do it for science, so we're going to do it. And Casper also pointed out that obviously it's just great having the healing of our Theocrat hero. We have Bestow Iron Heart. We're also going to be able to get actual, like, just the healing ability as well. So a lot of benefit here from our Theocrat, in addition, obviously, to Convert as well. So big thank you to Can Dennis, Samuel Gomes, and Casper Eklund for those excellent comments. All right, let's dive into this episode. So we're going to start with what Casper suggested, which is, if we can just find, here we go. So we'll actually move off. We're not going to worry about this battle. As tempted as I was to kind of do it, I just really don't think it's worth it after kind of considering it a little bit more, and also listening to what Casper had to say about it. So we do have a potential city here, which is great. We can go and explore that. I'm going to ignore this Ziggurat, as that's definitely above our pay grade at the moment. I don't think we're quite strong enough to do this one. Also keep in mind that in this playthrough, I do have a very strong defenders set, so that kind of complicates things just a little bit. Now let's jump back to the Shadow Realm, and we will actually do this battle here. Now obviously our Blight Elemental can't come and join us, but we can take our Theocrat, and we can actually engage this battle. The only thing that's going to make this a little bit tricky is that we've got a wall here, but if we look, none of these units are ranged units, so I don't think we will have too much trouble. The big question is, and of course I don't want to get ahead of myself, but assuming that I win this battle, I'm going to have to really think about what am I going to do when it comes to the city. Am I going to keep it Draconian, or am I going to migrate it? So let's use Touch of Faith, and I think we will put it on our Frost Elemental, because our Frost Elemental is going to be doing frost damage, which these Draconians are going to be a little bit susceptible to. So we're going to boost up our Frost Elemental just a touch there. And we'll also send our Air Elementals in. The Grunts are going to move up. We'll move our Mystics in as well. But our Frost Elemental is going to be kind of front and center here, I think. Okay. So again, we've got pretty much exclusively melee units coming at us. Ooh, we took a bit there from the charge there of those Draconian chargers here. And yeah, they do have charge. That's why we took so much damage. You can see there they are frostbitten. So let's see if we can take them out. Kind of make our life a little bit easier here. So if we do this attack from here, we're going to do a minimum of 6, so that would be 18 damage. A maximum of 8, so that would be 24 damage. So we're not going to get the kill either way. We could step up. The only issue, I don't want to get too close and end up getting attacked by these other units with my support unit here. So I think we will actually hit them from far back here. And you know what, we can step up with our elemental. Actually, we could jump up into the city walls here. There we go. Now we get the range bonus from the wall, and we can actually get the kill. Very nice. We're going to retreat our Frost Elemental back just a touch because obviously a little bit damaged. However, we can come in and throw a Bestow Iron Heart. There's the health back. So now we've got, you can see we've got Bestow Iron Heart giving us extra defense, extra resistance, and strong will, and we've still got Touch by Faith. So this unit is doing quite well now at the moment. So I think we will just blast the Temple Guard there. And I'm going to move my grunts up here to kind of just provide a bit of protection for our support units there. Alright. Now they're going to come at us. There we go. Tanking the damage pretty well. Oof. Really took some hits there, but fortunately our Frost Elemental managed to survive. Okay, so we can move in with our Air Elemental and actually do quite a bit of work here, which I'm going to, again, take full advantage of. I think we'll come in and attack the Crusher. Turn that around. Very nice. And then we can kill off the Temple Guard here with our Mystic, hopefully. Yes, very nice. We can use our Grunt to finish off the Crusher, or we could come around and attack this Crusher. Let's see, what kind of damage do we do with our hero if we kind of flank around here like this? Oh, very nice. Excellent. And then we can get the kill with our Grunt here. Fantastic. We're going to just retreat our Frost Elemental back just to keep him safe. And now we've just got the single remaining Crusher over there to deal with. So we've used up our heals, unfortunately, but we do still want to get some experience with our hero. So we'll just do a little bit of damage there. Very nice. A little bit more with our Mystics. And then we can jump up here. Do that. And then we'll throw on a War Cry and go in for the kill here. Very nice. Alright, excellent battle there. So we we successfully captured this Draconian city. We didn't take any losses, although our Frost Elemental took a bit of damage. Thankfully, our Theocrat's going to be able to heal him up relatively quickly. So now we have to decide, what do we want to do with this Draconian city? And there are a few considerations to make here. So first of all, we're in the Shadow Realm, meaning that our units are going to suffer from Shadow Sickness. You can see here if we look, vulnerable to Shadow Sickness, meaning that when we're traveling in the Shadow Realm, this unit will receive -1 defense, -1 resistance, and -1 damage. So that's an important thing to keep in mind, that since we're in the Shadow Realm, our units are going to be susceptible to that, unless they are Draconian, Undead, or Shadow Elves. I believe also Elemental units are still affected by that. Let's take a quick peek. Oh, maybe not. Oh, you know, okay, it does have Shadow Walker, so certain Elemental units will be immune as well. But for our Orcs and for our other standard races, we will have to keep that in mind. So that's an incentive to maybe keep the Draconian city as Draconian. In addition, we're going to then get units that can do fire damage, which will be excellent. The only thing is I really want to get my evil points going, and to do that, a great way to do it would be to migrate this city. However, I actually think I'm going to keep it as Draconian because we could migrate it to Orcs in one turn. That is super tempting, but I actually want to keep Draconians in my good books. So we are going to absorb the Draconian city. Again, it will be nice, since we're in the Shadow Realm, to have a race that is actually at home in the Shadow Realm and doesn't take those negative penalties. Alright, so back up to the surface here. I think we're pretty much done everything else. I just want to do a little bit of confirming there. We were scouting with that Frostling up there. Yeah, we've already moved our hero stack there. This little guy's doing some extra scouting, as is our little Goblin half-breed over here. And we've got Urkan leading a stack with some decent units. He's got Goblin Big Beetle, he's got a Human Knight. He's got a pretty solid stack. And we're going to probably take out these units if possible, just to keep them from attacking our city here. This was an Elven city that we migrated over to an Orc city. So the only other thing we could do is start working on a raised militia to get another unit. Let's just see if we kind of need that anywhere. I really don't think so. We've got this little hodgepodge stack moving over to kind of deal with these wisps. and take out that quest. So I think we're good. I think we're going to end the turn there. And we'll kind of see what happens. So we did come in contact with this giant dwelling up here in the last episode. And then obviously now we've got this city over here, plus another Shadow Gate. So I'm interested to see what kind of race this city is. Based on the wetlands, I'm guessing maybe Goblin. Also based on the size, but we'll have to see. Now, that's another thing I have to decide, because I've made elves kind of angry, so high elves are going to be on my my list of races whose cities I can migrate. We're probably going to do maybe one more race that I want to, maybe one or two, I would say, that I want to migrate their cities over to kind of make them angry at me. The reason, again, is to get evil points, because I want to start taking advantage of my Shadowborne specialization. And I also want to become evil so that I can make better friends with these undead here. The Archon. Oh, that's unfortunate. So these independent units are actually going after my Orc Scoundrel there, so we'll just auto-combat that. Ooh, you know what, though? We'll do this one manually. I'm going to see if I can kind of kite them a little bit. I don't think it's going to be possible, but we're going to give it a try, because these units have decent mobility. If we take a look. The Bleak Warg has 36. Yeah, 36. We only have 28. We do have sprint, though, so we might be able to take advantage of it. We're going to try it. I suspect this is probably not going to work, but we'll give it a shot here. So we'll kind of have to... We'll see if we can kind of make them go around these rocks a little bit. Yeah, that extra mobility on their part's just kind of, I think, going to give us some problems here. Okay. Yeah, I don't think there's really anywhere we can run at this point. Alright, well, maybe instead we will just turtle up here and let them do their worst. Oof. Well, their worst was pretty bad. So we got... we knew we were going to lose the scout. I was just trying to see if I could kite. If you can do the battle for 5 turns without the attackers doing damage, then of course the battle will end. Okay, we actually have a quest available from this dwelling. Let's see what it is. Drive away the creatures. So there's a spirit elemental here. We would get a peace treaty and a couple of ogre units, which would be ideal. So let's accept that quest. And you know what? That's maybe where we'll send Crognash eventually, is we'll send him up there. Yeah, we'll accept that quest, and we'll head over there to see what kind of damage we can do. We did have a frost wyvern egg arrive with Dominus, so once he's able to, he will have a flying mount, which will make it easier for him to get in and dominate units. We now have a nourishing meal item, and we're also going to be sending that to Dominus. So that is fantastic. Very nice to have that. Dominus will finally be able to basically heal himself, which will be excellent. We're going to continue to do some scouting here with our little guy. And we're just kind of taking a peek around, trying to see what we can find. Alright, so now let's see what we're dealing with here. What kind of... Okay, so it is a goblin city. That's what I was expecting. Now, goblins could benefit me quite a bit. There's a lot of things that the goblins could provide. Obviously, their cities grow really quickly. We've got wetland terrain here, so that would be right at home, this goblin city in the wetlands. Let's think about this. So, goblins do have blight damage. That's pretty nice. However, I do want to anger some other races. I really do, because I need those evil points. So, because this city, excuse me, isn't at war with us currently, it might be worth going to war with them, trying to invade them, getting all those evil points going, such that then we can really start building those up. We do have a few goblin units, of course, but... Oh, and look at this. We've got a spawning structure here, a beast den, I think that is. We're going to have to clear that out for sure. I will say, I do find that when I'm playing an evil alignment, I really do like being a necromancer in that respect because I don't have to worry about angering the other races, because as undead you don't have to really worry about that. So there is more to consider when you're playing another class, because you have to decide which races am I going to make angry at me and which ones am I going to keep in my good books. So while I'm contemplating this decision a little bit more, I'm going to procrastinate that just a little bit. In the meantime here, let's decide if we're going to, which way we're going to go to get over there. I think we'll maybe go around this way, because this battle I just don't think we have the ability to do right now, since we've got nothing but orcs here. So we'll go around this way and try and deal with these wisps. Okay. So we've got some production to sort out. So in Toldran here, we have to decide. We could now build some more items for our other heroes. Alternatively, we could continue developing the city. And since this city is already extremely developed, I think I would like to continue building it up, because that's going to provide me a lot of benefit. Before I do that, though, let's see if maybe we can snag some extra gold or something like that using our heroes here. We need to obviously go take out this warband camp, which is actually guarded by some pretty powerful units. We've got 3 Shadow Elf infused, or excuse me, 2 Shadow Elf infused, who are tier 2 Shadow Elf infantry units. And then we've also got Shadow Elf Arcane Archers here, which do quite a bit of damage with their arrows as they do shock damage. So, yeah, we can get over there with our Blight Elemental. So let's try and do this battle. We're going to have a difficult time of it, but I think we can manage it. Okay, we've got probable victory, so hopefully we're able to... Now, the biggest issue is going to be we got to get over this gate as well, unless they decide to come out to us, which it looks like they are not going to do. We're going to take a lot of punishment on our way in if we try to do that. So, it would be ideal if we could get them to come out to us. We're going to throw the Bestow Iron Heart on the Frost Elemental just to restore his health there. Now, can we get a Weakened on somebody maybe and entice them to come out? Let's see, maybe they will try and come out at us a little bit here. We're just going to kind of... Actually, we don't want to get in there. We'll be disgusted. Alright, let's see if they'll come out to us. I really want them to come out and attack us. Okay, there goes the Arcane Arrows. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be able to get at them. Now, this battle is particularly difficult because we've got units that do elemental damage, and our units are not necessarily as resistant to that. Now, the Lesser Air Elemental has 100% shock protection, so we're going to send him in, because he needs to deal with these Shadow Elves kind of ASAP here. So we'll send him in. He can start working on the obstacle there. Our Blight Elemental is not particularly weak or immune to shock damage. So, now, what about our Frost Elemental? Nothing with shock, so kind of neutral on it. Now, we do have Touch of Faith, so we could throw that on... You know what, maybe that's actually good on our Frost Elemental here. We'll do that. He's now quite capable with his 2 upgrades. So we'll send the Frost Elemental in as well. We'll attack the obstacle, clear that out. Very nice. We could send our Grunts in, except they're going to take an absolute pounding if they go in there. Just because of the... Ooh, Disgusted, I don't want that. So we're going to just keep our Mystic back. If we send our Grunt in, he's going to take quite the pounding from these archers. Now, the option is we could throw him in defense mode. He's going to take quite a beating, though, because if you look, they do quite a bit of damage thanks to that shock damage there. So maybe we'll just keep him sort of back like this. Now, our Blight Elemental, on the other hand, we could charge in there a bit. We'll just do a little bit of damage to those archers. We're going to eat the damage here because we're going to take it probably with our elemental units. Okay, so our grunts are going to tank that. Thank goodness they fumbled. Oof. They might die here. Oof. Okay, thank goodness. So our grunts survived, but they're not going to be able to do a whole lot more now. And our air elementals took quite a pounding from these infused. And the reason for that is because if we look, they have 60% frost weakness, and what the infused did, they have Shadow Shift. Grants the unit plus 60% physical protection pass wall and frost weapons, which means they did a lot of frost damage to us. So I should have considered that before I sent in my air elementals. That was a bit of a mistake. So now what we're going to do is we're going to kill off the infused here. Very nice. Ooh, and you know what? I maybe should have killed them off using a different unit, because now these archers are going to have just free reign on blasting us. Because what I should have done, because I don't really want to send my air elemental in, because the air elemental is just going to get punched to death. Although, maybe it's not the worst idea. We could send the air elemental in like this and just throw him in defense mode, except we've still got the other infused there who could come in and put the hurt on us. Alright, well, let's start blasting the archers just a little bit more. We'll send this Blight Elemental in like this. Maybe we'll just put him in defense mode. And you know what? If we end up losing the air Elemental, it wouldn't be the end of the world. I don't want my Grunt to die, so we're going to run back with the Grunt. Alright, so now let's get our hero involved here. Maybe we can smite somebody. We have Divine Protection, actually. That could be really good. +6 resistance, so that's ideal. We could throw that on one of our units here. I maybe should have used that earlier. Let's see what other spells we have access to here. We've got Slayer's Doubt and Instant Wrath. Slayer's Doubt attempts to lower target enemy units' movement and morale. Yeah, I think Divine Protection would be probably more useful. Now we could throw it on the Air Elemental or the Blight Elemental. Our Frost Elemental's already got a ton of boost from the 2 upgrades there. If we're going to send our air Elemental in, that would probably be a good plan. I think we'll put it on the Blight Elemental. The Air Elemental I really don't want to send in there, to be perfectly honest. Just because of the risk to him there. So now if they shoot up my Blight Elemental can tank that damage really, really well. So maybe we will kind of hang back a bit. Just kind of cheese back a little bit there. Alright, now let's see what happens. We may still lose them, but we'll see. Okay, so the Blight Elemental's tanking the damage. That's good. Really good. Quite happy with that. Excellent. Very nice. Did a very good job there of just tanking that. So we've got our infused here who really need to die. So let's step up. We'll do some damage to them. Well, you know what I should have done is I should have moved in with my Frost Elemental and flanked them first. That was kind of a mistake on my part. It's okay. I think we'll be able to manage, but it's just annoying. Didn't think that one through all the way. We're going to blast them there, and now we can get the flank here with our... Yeah, very nice. We'll move in here, get the flank. Not quite the kill, but I think if we move right up, we might be able to finish them off. Oof, not quite. Suppose, you know what we could do is we could come in like this. Yeah, we'll do that. We can get the kill. Now, this unit's going to take some punishment, but hopefully it'll survive. Our Blight Elementals, too, are in trouble here. We're going to see who dies. Okay, they're going after the hero. That's actually really good. Okay, perfect. So nobody died. We have to be very careful in this battle just because it's pretty easy for us to, make a mistake and lose somebody kind of unnecessarily. So we'll do a little bit of damage there. A little bit more damage there. Very nice. And then we will get the finish. Perfect. Our Blight Elemental. We already attacked with our Frost Elemental. Yes, we have. So our Blight Elemental will move in and just get the finish here. Very nice. Fantastic. Okay, so that's taken care of. Now our city's a little bit safer, thank goodness. We've got here a stalk of living vines, which would give us Entangling Touch, which quite useful item to have, actually. I'm going to take that. So that will come in handy if we're trying to delay a battle to get extra healing in, or let's say we wanted to delay the battle such that we could try a convert or something like that. Very, very handy. Quite happy to have that. Okay, now here we've got a Earth Node with 2 Kobolds, not too difficult, but then we've got a Lesser Earth Elemental, a Gold Wyvern, and a Node Serpent. That's a little bit scary. We do have a level up here with True Gruck, So now let's do that. We could get Chaplain, which would give us extra morale. Everybody in the stack gets 200 extra morale. Sacred Arms is really nice. You do get a little bit of elemental damage there, +1 spirit strength. Yeah, you know what? I think we're going to go Sacred Arms. Healing Aura would also be nice, just regenerate additional health. But I think we'll go Sacred Arms because we're going to get more healing later. So we'll do Sacred Arms to have that extra spirit damage there. You can see, very nice. Just improving our elemental output just a little bit. Now I have to decide, where do I send this stack? We've got a few options. We could do some more exploring. We could head for this gold over here. And obviously we could hang around and try and win this battle too. How long till we expand? So this city's going to be a little bit till it starts growing again. What kind of movement do we have left? We could head back over this way. The Node Serpent is the thing I'm definitely the most scared of in that battle, for sure. You know what? I think we'll do that. I think we'll head back this way. We'll just wait a turn here. And then we'll see if we can clear that out. Now with this stack, there are obviously some roving units that need to be killed off. I think that's going to be important. We can also head over here and see if we can maybe win this battle. But in the meantime, let's take out these units right here. And we can do that with our Goblin Beetle, Big Beetle there. We'll send him in to initiate the battle. So we'll take out these units that killed off my little scout there, unfortunately. Okay, should be fairly straightforward here. We're just going to try and kind of win the battle as painlessly as possible. I think we will light up the Blighttusk Boar a little bit. And we can charge up get a charge in there for some extra damage. Can move in here and get the kill. We do have to be careful. I forgot my knights are actually in pretty rough shape there. Ooh, I didn't really think that one through very well. Ooh, that was kind of a mistake on my part. I should have sent these beetles in a little bit differently, maybe. Could have prioritized damage on the warg rather than... Okay, you know what we'll do? We'll throw a war cry on, and we'll move in. We'll do some big damage there. Very nice. And then now with our Prowler and our Knight combo, we'll kill off the boar, I think. Very nice. So now, if anybody moves, they're going to die. I think we'll be just fine. Taking a little bit of damage, but should be fine. Very nice. And we did get a level up with our Prowler and our Knight, which is quite nice. Very good. Okay. So we'll hop back in the stack. So we're not strong enough to do that battle, so we're just going to chill, I think. And we did get a level up with Urkan here. He's now level 6, which means that pretty soon he's going to have access to Blood Brothers, which would be great for us. Ranged command would be kind of nice, although we've got 2 ranged units there. That would be quite helpful. Field medic obviously is going to come in handy in this stack because we don't really have a healer in this group at the moment. Although eventually we could, I suppose, have a healing item with Urkan. I think maybe we'll do range command. Oh, the healing would be great though, because like our knight's going to need a lot of time to heal. Yeah, that's kind of a tough call. I think we'll go field medic because we want them to be healing up as quickly as possible. So there we go. All right, over to Toldran now. Let's decide here, what do we want to do in regards to our production? Obviously, like I said, we could start working on an item that has more healing or other effects that would be beneficial for our heroes. Alternatively, we could just keep developing the city. Could grab a shrine or a public baths. Unfortunately, we don't quite have enough money for the Masters Guild. Maybe we'll just do a shrine in one turn there. Kind of nice to have extra mana income a little bit there. Okay, so now we have to actually decide, what are we going to do with our hero here? And you know what? After thinking about it a little bit, I think I'm going to declare war. Prepare to be destroyed. Unfortunately, the goblins are not going to be very happy with me. But we're going to show who the superior greenskins are. And that's the orcs. So we do have a couple of big beetles here. So this is actually pretty well defended. Holy cow, they've got a lot of strong units. Hopefully some of them come and attack us rather than us having to go in and attack the city. But I think we'll be just fine. Alright, so we're going to end the turn there. Don't think there was really anything else that I needed to do. So we will end the turn there. Hopefully we don't get attacked by all these units at once. That would be pretty devastating. I suspect they may just try and reinforce the city, in which case that's going to be kind of tough for me. I maybe should have scouted the city a little bit before deciding to attack like this. Alright, so... While this turn is flipping over, let's kind of think about maybe how we want to proceed. So, obviously we want to take this over, and then maybe we keep heading north, try and get over here, and we can do this quest for the giant dwelling, and maybe start making friends with them a little bit. And also, we'll just do some more exploring up here. It would be great to see what's in the Shadow Realm here through this Shadow Gate. Oh, and I forgot, we need to clear out this beast den. Maybe we send Urkan over to take care of that, then. That might be a good plan. We could even grab this watchtower while we're on our way up there. I mean, the problem here is we get kind of stuck in the mountains, but that could still be good for us. And we're going to... Oh, here we go. Okay, perfect. So they are coming out to attack us. That's excellent. Make our life a little bit easier. We can try for a convert on one of these. I don't think they have mind control immunity. Pretty darn sure they don't. Yeah, they do not, so that's kind of nice for us. Alright, so we do have to be a little bit careful in this battle because these units aren't a pushover by any means. Goblin big beetles are decent, so first things first, we're going to heal up our Black Knight there a little bit. And they do have charge, which is going to allow them to kind of come in and give us the business a little bit here. So maybe we'll send our Blight Elemental kind of up like... Oh, and I forgot he has Disgusted, so we'll kind of space him out a little bit. The Shock Troopers can be kind of front and center. They're going to be able to dish out some punishment for sure. I think we're good there. I was thinking about using Lion's Courage if necessary, but I think we'll be alright. Okay, so they're moving up and they're in defense mode, but this is going to allow us to mitigate that charge, so... Plus our Black Knight's going to be able to really dish out some big damage here, you can see. Maybe we throw a War Cry and we just charge right in. Oh, devastating there. Now, obviously, we took some damage, but should be able to move in and get the kill without too much trouble. So we'll take our Shock Serpent, move in like this, get the kill, no problem. And then we'll take our Blight Elemental as well and try and do some work, I think. Now, the only problem is they do Blight damage, which is kind of nasty, as you can see there. So, what's the odds of dominate within... In defense mode right now, if we try to dominate, it's 45% chance. So that's actually pretty good when we consider we're not going to be in defense mode forever in this battle here. So we want to try and lock these units down, because they're obviously going to probably go after my Black Knight, and I don't want that Black Knight to die. So maybe we throw our Shock Trooper right here in defense mode, and then we could also maybe move in here with our Blight Elemental and just do a little bit of damage as well. Kind of come around behind like this. Do a little bit here. There we go. Now Crognash himself, we don't want to get him too involved, obviously. We don't want to put him at unnecessary risk. Same goes for Dominus. So for Dominus, maybe we move over like this and we do a nice blast here of some big damage. Oof, very good. Bring Crognash over, do the same thing with our crossbow. Very nice. I suspect one of these is going to break around here, but we'll see. Oh, they're going after my Blight Elemental. Alright, fair enough. Did a good job tanking all that damage. Very nice. Okay. We can send our Shock Trooper up this way. Throw on a War Cry. Do some big damage, turn him around. And unfortunately our Blight Elemental can't do any movement or anything, which would be nice if it could, because we could use Weakened. And this is now a gold medal, so we really got to make sure he doesn't go down, because that would be really unfortunate. Ooh, and we can't quite get a Dominate in, but we could move off like this. Move around, and then we can throw on a Dominate. 60% chance. That's actually not that good. And you know what? I don't really need these units that badly. I think I'd rather just focus on getting the kills, really, at this point. So I think we'll just do that. Could even send Dominus around to... We'll definitely send Crognash in here to finish off this big beetle. Ooh, and we're not going to get a guarantee. Nice, we did. Okay. Should have maybe moved him differently so we didn't have the line of sight issue, but... Oh, and we don't have the musket ball. I thought we did. Oops. That was kind of a mistake. So who's left that can move? Oof. I really hope our Blight Elemental doesn't go down. That would be really unfortunate. Yeah, we don't really have any spells or anything that can help. Oh, that was a big mistake on my part. That might cost me my Blight Elemental. Ay, ay, ay. Not good. Not good. Yeah, nobody can get in to help. That's a real shame. Oh boy, let's see what happens here. Whew. Very close, but we survived. And now we'll actually get a chance to dominate. So we'll give that a shot here, because why not? And we got it. Very nice. So we did manage to get at least one big beetle out of that deal. And look at that. We now have a fully grown Blight Elemental. No longer lesser. He's a big boy now. So I'm very happy about that. Mab's boon is now finished, which means as we start migrating these cities over, we're going to get some benefit from that. We got a level up with Crognash, which is excellent. He's now level 7. And Blood Brothers is 10 points. Okay, I couldn't remember if it was 10 or 5, so we're going to probably just save for that. We could grab a little 2-point upgrade like martial arts or something. I think we'll just save our points because we want Blood Brother next level up. And okay. So now this Goblin City is ripe for the picking. We can charge in here. It might be nice to try and grab this Blight Doctor as well. Now, if we look at our race diplomacy here, we'll just do this quick. So the Goblins, it's minus 100, so they're not, like, super upset with us. We could go in and still absorb the city and not have it be a huge problem. But I think I am going to maybe have them kind of on my negative list here. I suppose the other option is we just take those evil points from having declared war, move in, and we don't migrate the city, we just absorb it. I mean, obviously there's all this wetland around here, and I can't remember how do orcs feel about the different climate and tile sets here. So we've got, they dislike Arctic and Blighted, and they hate Volcanic, but they do like Barrens. Now this is currently wetlands. Sorry for that. I just had to mute my mic there. I had a big sneeze coming on, and I didn't want to destroy your ears with it. Okay. So I think we'll procrastinate the decision because I'm not 100% sure if I want to migrate that or not. But we will. Ooh, we've got some lost souls here, so we want to kind of run away from that. Maybe we'll even go on land here and just get away from it. Oh, and look at this. We've got another spawning structure, a monster den. That's going to need to get dealt with eventually if we go up there. Alright, so what else do we have? We've got Urkan here who's going to need to do something. The only problem is if we go in here and grab this, then it's kind of like we're going to have to work our way out of it because we've got this, we've got all these mountains surrounding it. So I'm actually going to not, as much as it's kind of nice to have these watchtowers, I don't want to get penned in by the mountains. So we're going to go up this way. And we'll be over at the Beast End next turn. We'll be able to clear that out. And in the meantime here, let's see, we've also got, yes, we've got this stack. Ooh, that's kind of unfortunate. This unit, I think if we try to engage that battle, we might actually bring both stacks in, which would be kind of not good for us. Let's see if that's the case. I'm not sure if it's going to bring both. No, it isn't. Okay, fantastic. So we'll do this battle first, I think, just because it's probably going to be, well, I don't know if it'll be more challenging. I guess we'll have to see. I believe the Frost Elemental has physical weakness. Yes, it does. So that's actually good for us. This battle actually might be the easier of the two then. So, not as concerned about it. Let's see, we can do some big damage to the Wisp actually, which is nice because we can finish that Wisp off that way. We'll even step up just a bit more. Do some more damage. And then can we get the kill? Be very close. Let's throw on the War Cry and just ensure we get the kill. Very nice. And they resisted it. Fantastic. So now we'll move our Greatsword up. And our Berserkers can come up as well and just be in defense mode. Trying to kind of protect my units from a flank hit. Oof. That was a little bit nasty. Come around behind with a War Cry. Do a big flank hit. And then we can kind of pick them apart here with our ranged attacks. Very nice. And then we can also finish them off here with our Grunt. Excellent. Okay, no problem there. Relatively painless battle. A little bit of damage with our Grunt, but we healed some of it thanks to Victory Rush. And then we'll group up again and engage this battle with these Wisps and try and finish this quest off. Hopefully get some potentially juicy rewards out of the deal. Okay, now these Wisps are actually going to be a bit of an issue because if they manage to hit us, they're going to do a lot of damage thanks to their elemental ability, and also because they have they could stun us, which would be pretty devastating if it manages to affect us. We're going to throw on the War Cry and charge in. We want to at least kill off one of these. Oof, that's not good. So now what's almost certainly going to happen is this Berserker is going to get ganged up on by the other two Wisps. So we'll do this. I shouldn't have grouped my units up like this, because then if they get stunned, it's going to be more of a problem for us. Oh, that's not good. Okay. No problem there. We actually did all right. You know what we'll do is we will charge around behind, throw on a War Cry, turn them around with a flank, and then hopefully get the kill here. Come on, get the kill. Yes, very nice. And then we can kind of do the same thing over here as well. We'll step in like this, throw on the War Cry, do a hit, and then get the finish with our Berserker. Perfect. Okay. So that quest is now finished, and that's going to give us a Black Knight, which I will definitely take. That is quite useful for us. I'll take that reward. So this stack now has a 6th unit, which is fantastic. Doesn't really have any elemental damage at the moment, which I could produce a priest in our throne city here to help with that. And now I have to decide, where do I want to send this group? I'm thinking I'm going to send them up to try and maybe deal with some of these spawning structures. Of course, they're going to struggle with that because they don't have elemental damage, but I think that would probably be the best course of action. Of course, we could also try and clear out this ancient ruin over there, but I think we'll stick to that for now, heading up to at least get rid of this spawning structure, or at least try to. Shouldn't get ahead of myself. We might have some actual difficulty with it. Okay. Let's see, what else do we have? So we've got this little guy doing a bit more exploration. Head over here. Ancient ruin down here, that's kind of cool. Could grab this and continue exploring. Yeah, I think we will. We've got a tomb over here. Oh, and we've encountered the first of our opponents, Schnaga. Schnaga is a goblin. Let's see, what is she? She is a goblin rogue. Okay, so we now know where Schnaga is, so we could start pressing over there if necessary to try and put the hurt on Schnaga. Okay. So I think I am going to attack this city now, and I'm going to see if I can migrate the city over to orcs, just because I want those evil points. Once again, sorry for the little break there. I just had to, again, I must just have either an allergy or there's dry air because I'm having a runny nose. So we will attack this goblin city, and then I guess we will decide if we're going to migrate it or not. So now we'll initiate the battle. I guess we'll use Crognash. He's got the most movement. So we'll engage the battle, and then once we're done, we'll have to think about whether we want to keep the goblins as they are or migrate it over to orcs. Remembering, of course, that we will get the benefit of Mab's boon and also the benefit of the evil points, which we do want. So our Black Knights could benefit from Guarded by Flame a little bit there, so I think we'll do that. Just that extra health boost is quite nice for them. Alright, so our Blight Elemental, we can move him in as well. Now we have Weakening Breath, which is fantastic. Very happy to have a fully grown Blight Elemental. Nice, solid Tier 3 unit. Very good to have as well with Dominus, because with that ability to inflict weakened, units will be then more susceptible to mind control effects like Dominate. So very good to have. Okay. So we've got some units that need to die, that's for sure. I was going to try and maybe grab this Blight Doctor, but I think I'm just going to move in and get the kill, honestly. Or try to, anyway. Can't quite get in there with my Shock Serpent. I'm just trying to decide kind of how best to do this. Maybe we'll move Crognash in just a touch here. Do a little bit of damage, just enough to do a bit there and make sure we get the kill. Yeah, very good. Just wanted to kind of ensure that we had that kill locked in. Now, if we move up like this, can we throw a Weakened Breath on? Okay, so that's not going to impact them because they have Blight. They're resistant to Blight, so we'll throw a Weakened on. That's kind of nice. And then our Serpents can move up like this. Our Cavalry kind of in behind as well, and Dominus can move up as well. So I suspect they're going to come in and attack my Blight Elemental, but we'll have to see. Oof, our Shock Trooper's taking some punishment. Oh, wow. I got so overconfident there and we lost our Shock Trooper. That was a huge mistake on my part. Wow. Again, I totally underestimated the fact that these goblins do blight damage, and my units, my orc units, have that low resistance. So, again, I think we're going to be fine. Like, that's a real shame, but God, that was an ugly, ugly loss there. I really shouldn't have gotten so overconfident there. Well, again, always lessons to be learned, and that's definitely one of them. Even when your units are powerful and you feel real confident, you can still end up making big mistakes like that. So we'll get our Black Knight in there, and we'll also help out with our Blight Elemental. Oh, and again, another little mistake there. There we go, helping out. You know what, we can even send Dominus in to assist as well if needed. This big beetle's going to need to die, though, that's for sure. There we go. And then if we move Crognash in, we can probably get the finish. Yep, very good. Now, the question is, can we kill the half-breed with our gun blast even through the obstacle? It's a good question, I'm not sure. It doesn't look like it. This big beetle's not going to be killed, so no, I don't think we're going to be able to do enough there. Yeah, you can't sleep on those Swarm Darters. They even do quite a bit of damage. Okay, so Dominus can move in now and go for this guy. Can throw a Weakened on him real quick just to make that a little bit better. Let's try for it. We got a 65% chance, and we actually were successful. Fantastic. Oh, and of course I've potentially just doomed my Shock Serpent now. Because I was so obsessed with trying to get that unit that I didn't even think about. I'm going to have to put him in defense mode here. Maybe we'll even send Crognash in like this just to tank the damage. There we go. Yeah, he'll be fine. So our Black Knight's in as well. Oh, I can't... This was really a sloppy battle on my part. Okay, yeah, Crognash was okay there. I just really didn't want my Shock Serpent to end up dying. That would have been devastating. Okay, now, are there any abilities we can use? Anything kind of beneficial? Dominus is basically at full health, so we don't have to worry about that. Blight Elemental, we could move over. I think that they're immune to the Weakened Breath. Oh, not quite. All right, let's try it. Okay, a little bit of extra effects there. We'll move in with our Shock Serpent and try and get the kill. We want to eventually evolve this Shock Serpent into a King Shock Serpent. So, oh, that hurts. I can't believe I lost that Shock Trooper. That was such a sloppy move on my part. And he was a silver metal one. Oh, anyway, we're not going to dwell on it. We're going to move on. But, yeah, big mistake on my part. Now, we can replace him with some big beetles, though. That would be maybe kind of a good idea. And we could migrate this over to Orcs. Obviously not going to be very happy. Our Goblin friends aren't going to be very happy with us. Maybe I'll just absorb it. I think that's maybe going to be the plan. And again, we did get some benefit out of declaring war. We did make the Goblins a little bit unhappy with us, but not excessively. So I think we'll be fine. I think keeping this as Goblins is actually going to be more beneficial for us. We'll have lots of options there for elemental damage then between our Draconian city and our Goblin city. Oh, I still can't believe I lost that Shock Trooper, though. Okay, maybe now we grab Conqueror, because that's going to give us all that extra experience. We'll get to use that more going forward, and then we'll maybe grab Thoroughbred Mounts. So let's do Conqueror next. Very good. All right, over to Toldran. Now, again, we have to decide, do we want to build something, or do we want to continue to work on improving the city? I mean, I'm really tempted to just grab Master's Guild here. That's 2 turns and a big boost to production. We'd have over 150 production, meaning we could do public baths in 1 turn. So I think we'll do that. We're gonna do Master's Guild. This is gonna be really our main city of just production and just having good upgrades on the city. So I think we'll head over here with our hero stack. And, you know, it'd be really, really great to grab a shaman. Unfortunately, the shaman has mind control immunity, which means that we're not going to be able to get a hold of him using Dominus with Dominate. And let's see, what else oof, Nightshade Fairy, that's pretty nasty with elemental damage. Look at Fairy Fire there. 5, 5, and 5 of Frost, Fire, and Shock. That's pretty devastating. So we're going to wait to do that battle, I think. What we'll do is we'll step over here just to get a little bit more exploration. And we will hang out for a turn. Now, we do have some roaming units here. I'm not sure where they came from, but we're going to need to take them out. So rather than worrying about this, actually, we're going to head down here, clear these units out. And we're going to have to figure out where did they spawn from, because obviously we don't want that city getting attacked by more of these units. Okay, so obviously the Shadow Stalker is going to be a bit of an issue. Let's just take a peek here. Physical protection, 80% Blight and 80% Frost, so maybe we'll use our... I'm not sure. We could go with some spirit damage, I suppose. That would be kind of nice. And we can move in with our Mystic and put the work in. There we go. Let's do that. A little bit of damage there. Could go for an Entangle, I suppose. Oh, that doesn't work because it's a... it's not a physical unit, it's an elemental, so that would be why that's not going to be effective. Unfortunately, our units are kind of in rough shape, which is a bit of an issue for us at the moment. Maybe what we do... Now, what's the Frost Elemental going to do in a physical fight here? It would be able to kind of tank it. So I think what we'll do is we'll actually throw... Oh, you know, we could do Bestow Iron Heart, though, on somebody and then get them in there. Like our Air Elemental here. Ooh, yeah, let's do that. We'll move in here. We'll use Bestow Iron Heart. Very nice. Move in like this. Big damage. There we go. Very nice. And then move in with our Frost Elemental. Same story. Our Grunt can move up and just kind of tank some damage here. Move in with our Blight Elemental. And just attack these scoundrels a little bit. Remembering, of course, that they're gonna run off with Sprint here. Yep. They're going after my hero, which is just fine by me. Excellent. Okay, so they were able to handle that damage, no problem. Got a freeze there, that's good. And now we can pretty much kill off this scoundrel. No problem at all. Excellent. And then we've got... Now, who do we want to get some extra experience? Our Blight Elemental can throw a Weakened on there, that's good. So now they're very close to leveling up. Air Elemental can do Shocking Touch as well. A little bit. Yeah, fantastic. We'll tell our Mystic to just chill out. We want to kind of use this to farm a little bit more experience if possible here. So we'll throw a Touch by Faith on our Blight Elemental. And then again, I think our Blight Elemental is the closest to leveling up. So we'll come in and maybe get the kill with our Blight Elemental. Very close to a level up there. So that will be fantastic once that unit becomes a fully fledged Blight Elemental. Okay, so that takes care of them, but of course we don't know where they came from, so... What kind of structure is this? It's hard to tell what that is. Not exactly sure. Looks like they came from sort of down below, probably. So maybe we'll just kind of scout around the city a little bit. Go grab that gold eventually. Okay. I think that takes care of our turn. Don't think there was really much else I could do. Maybe what we'll do is we will raise militia and throw a unit on one of our cities that isn't really guarded at the moment. Obviously, we've got this city here that needs a guard. We've also got our Goblin city's going to need a guard as well. Over here. Maybe I'll wait a turn, though, before I do that, just because I don't want to do it while they're being absorbed. So we'll end our turn there. Oh, yeah, losing that shock trooper, though, that was so sloppy. You know, in a way, though, that actually kind of convinced me to maybe keep the goblins rather than migrate them over. But we are going to still need to get evil points somehow, because we want to improve our relationship with that Archon Revenant dwelling. And we want to do it sooner rather than later, because obviously the sooner we get that going, the more benefit we can get out of it before we get too far into the game, obviously. Okay. And yeah, we'll have to see what Schnaga has for an army. Unfortunately, our little Ice Scraper's probably going to die here, so we're just going to auto-combat that away. We did have a domain invasion here at Shrock. I don't know which city that is. Is that... I think that's here. That's our Goblin city. And that's this little guy getting in there. Carbonok wants to join us. You know, that would actually be kind of useful, having this city under our control. We can clear this little Lost Soul out. And then... take control. We have a tribute as well. Fantastic. We'll take the gold. Very nice. We're doing really good for mana, so no worries there. And ooh, look at this. We've got our nourishing meal item now with Dominus. So that's fantastic. He can heal himself, and keep the stack kind of in good shape as well. We actually finished Eternal City. It's kind of ironic. We finished this. Usually that tends to happen in your throne city, but this actually happened in our in an acquired city, and this was one that we vassaled and then took control of. So I'm not complaining at all. That's fantastic. This is our first metropolis. Excellent there. And we do have an alliance proposal, but because our alignment isn't the same as theirs, they're not happy with us. So I want to join in an alliance with them and have them be a vassal, but I need to become evil first. So again, maybe I should have migrated the city over to get those evil points. If we were to raise it, that would give us minus 150 alignment. Migrate to orcs would be minus 100 alignment. What are we at now? 75, so it wouldn't be quite enough to make us fully evil. We would have to raise the city, which I don't want to do because it's a very good city. Maybe we'll have another opportunity here this turn, but we'll have to see. I am going to accept that from Carbonok, though. I'm going to accept them as a full member of our empire here rather than a vassal. But before I do that, let's just finish off these lost souls so they're no longer posing a threat to what's about to be my new city. And again, we have to watch out. These lost souls do a decent amount of elemental damage, so we don't want to do anything stupid and lose anybody the way I lost those shock troopers, because that was just awful. Alright, we'll let them come in one closer so we can really gang up on them. There we go, fantastic. Alright, so now let's throw on a war cry, step up, do some big damage, very good. Step up like this, very good. Do a charge in and probably get the kill, or very close to it anyway. Oh, I should have used a war cry, that would have been smarter. And then we'll move in with our spearmen and do some damage there. Charge up like this. We'll throw on the war cry this time, and then get the kill. Very nice. And thanks to Victory Rush, we get most of our health back. Fantastic. Okay. So now we will have them join our empire. I think it's time for you to join my empire. And unfortunately, that's getting us a little bit more good alignment, so we're going to have to really work to get rid of that. Okay. And yeah, now with this stack, I am going to send them up this way. And we will do a raise militia just to get some extra... Or you know what, maybe rather than even doing that, we could just produce a spearman to guard the city. Although I think I'd like to get a builder's hall going, that would be ideal. We'll use raise militia to garrison the city with a unit. Okay. So we're just about done the episode here as we're running kind of long this time, but that's all right. And I don't want to guard the city with a tier 3 unit. That would be a gross misuse of strong units. So we'll probably do a raised militia here as well eventually to garrison it with something else. I think that's going to kind of do it for the episode. I think we'll call it there. Maybe we'll just do a touch of scouting here with our little half-breed. We'll get him in there and just go kind of see what she's got going on. We have to remember that we did accept this quest here. We may have to just bail on that quest. We could even just declare war on these giants. Just to get some evil points if necessary. Actually, that's a great way. You know, if we're trying to get some evil points, I could send some scouts out and around just to try and find some other cities that I'm, nowhere near, and just declare war on them. Assuming they're the races that I'm not trying to make friends with, of course. Yeah, I think that's going to do it for this episode. So we'll just zoom out here and take a look. So now we've got Srock in our empire, and things are looking pretty good. So we'll just save this one. We'll call this episode 6. So I made a few blunders this episode, but nothing catastrophic. We're still in really good shape. And yeah, we're definitely going to have to decide, though. Do we want to kind of push and go after one of the AI right now, going after Schnaga there on the east side of the map, or do we want to continue to kind of expand our empire and grow and focus on acquiring other units? I think it's probably a good idea in the next little bit, in the next few turns, to really go after one of the AI, though, because obviously they're going to start snowballing relatively soon. So in any case, guys, leave a comment if you've gotten this far. Leave a comment in the episode or on this episode, and let me know kind of what you think I should really prioritize next. Should I focus on going after Schnaga, or do you think maybe I should continue to explore and expand, not worrying necessarily about the AI opponent just yet? But anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one.